Hi, Alex, Daphne here. Thank you for sending in your final essays for correction, and I'm really glad that you have got your exam coming up soon. There's quite a few of you students now who have got tests booked, which is really great after such a long period of nothing happening. It's good that it's picking up, so that's really exciting. So here we go, 2 letters. Letter to your manager, so this is kind of neutral, formal, probably, setting up a cafeteria. What you've heard about the inconvenience, how you feel, and suggestions you have. So, dear Mr. Smith, my name is Alexander. I'm writing on behalf of employees from the technical department. The majority of staff have 24-hour shifts, and they're not allowed to leave their workplaces for more than 5 minutes. As a main engineer, now you don't need capital letters for that. I know it's a job title, but I think you're okay. They've received a large number of complaints from colleagues that they do not have the opportunity to buy drinks and food without breaking the company's policy. I would put because rather than that, because that's the cause of the complaint. Do not have an opportunity without breaking the company's policy. I feel a personal responsibility for organising appropriate working conditions for employees, and I believe that you support my ideas regarding this matter. This is fantastic, Alex. This is really, really high level and amazing. I was wondering if it would be possible. I was wondering, this is past continuous, so you need the past modal, would be possible to rent a coffee machine and water cooler dispenser to supply workers with drinks and fresh water. I've already requested prices from several renting companies. And attach. Now, that I attach, okay. You could actually just omit these. You could take that out. Renting companies, comma, attached for your perusal in the appendix to this letter. In addition to this, I would like to suggest buying a refrigerator or renting a vending machine to provide drinks for equipment to store or buy food and drinks. Okay. I think, how do I... It's 170, very neat. Okay. Okay. Yeah, fantastic. Renting a vending machine to store or buy food and drinks. Good. I appreciate your understanding of this matter. I wouldn't underline that. I think slightly aggressive. Don't underline it. Otherwise, you're sincerely, yeah, and that is absolutely perfect. I cannot fault that. Vocabulary, excellent. Tone, excellent. And fabulous language. And you're not even repeating yourself. So you've done very, very well with this. Instead of renting, you could put hiring. That's the only thing, because you've had rent there. But you may have used that elsewhere, but absolutely lovely. Super work. Really, really good. So this one is a different tone. Obviously, this is informal, relative, and you're only going to be home in the evening. So, dear Julia, I'm really happy we can spend time together during your vacation. Unfortunately, I won't be able to meet you at the airport as I'm having an important meeting Now, I would just go present simple, which is what we would use here for these kind of arrangements. So either I will be having, which would be quite nice, future continuous, or I have an important meeting when you arrive. But don't worry. I think I will be having. I'd go for that, actually. But don't worry, comma, I have a plan. I already gave spare keys to my neighbour Claire, who lives, why don't you have who instead of she, in an apartment 57. Use the intercom to call her when you come to my house. I strongly recommend you use, now you don't need to, it's recommend and then direct. Recommend you use the official airport transfer as they provide, or which provides. Might be nicer to get a relative clause in there. They provide is absolutely fine, but which provides might be better. Just to show the grammar, really, that's all. The fixed price for rides in comparison to commercial companies, which might be very expensive. Good. To find this transfer office, you should go left from the arrival gate, continue walking, get into the office and book a ride using my address. The driver will take you directly, rather than ride and ride, take you directly to my house. Please make yourself comfortable in my place. At my place. and use whatever you need. I'll leave snacks and drinks in the kitchen. It should be enough till I return. So here you definitely need present simple till I return from work. For the evening, I have booked. Now here you're going to present perfect because you've like recently done it. I have booked a table in a great place with delicious Belarusian food. You'll definitely love that. Sounds great. What a super letter. Again, really high standard, fabulous work. All the best. And then Alex, well done. Really, really good, Alex. Love that. 2 super letters. So your final task 2, off we go. Local governments are pushing companies to move from large cities to regional locations. What are the benefits and drawbacks of this? Okay. Nowadays, more and more companies are forced by local authorities to relocate from developed urban areas to the suburbs and rural ones. Now, what is one? Area? Because suburbs doesn't have area. You could have 2 more suburban and rural areas. That would work. 2 more suburban and rural areas. Or rural ones. Yeah, let's do that. 2, either to the suburbs. Okay, and more rural locations then. I've got locations already. More rural situations. Positions, maybe. Okay, I think I prefer 2 more suburban or rural ones. Although these actions from governments could be advantageous for provinces' development, because it is actions would have to be they, this is to do with the coherence, have some drawbacks to local people and the environment. Okay. This essay will discuss possibly, yep. Okay. Yes, you kind of almost don't need to repeat that because we know what you're talking about. Note how to sort of this trend or these policies, something like that. Okay. Sometimes you just don't need to repeat. Using governments to demonstrate points and prove arguments. On the one hand, having new tax residents might trigger economic growth in regions. Okay, in less industrialized regions. Hang on. Sorry, Alex, what happened? Okay, less industrialized regions. Doesn't even like my spelling. Therefore, not only could local authorities invest more money in social and medical programs for economically marginalised citizens and families, but also improve the standards of living for all residents by building necessary amenities and creating infrastructure for comfortable living. Wow, lovely. That's excellent. For example, recent figures from Belarusian government have shown that, okay, either show that present tense or have shown that if you feel you need to get a bit more grammar in, okay? The number of family facilities and social programs in areas where businesses have been relocated to has risen significantly in comparison to neighbouring regions. Consequently, relocating companies to underdeveloped regions, undeveloped, we've got regions, undeveloped places, maybe just so we're not repeating, gives opportunities for positive change in economic. Okay, I hear, yes, you can have gives. Or, yeah, you can have clearly gives, or you get this all into the past tense, have shown that, and then has given. Okay, so that is an option. Has shown that and has given. Present perfect. It just gives a little bit more grammar. On the other hand, large numbers of new companies, businesses and factories might have an adverse impact on regions in regards to the ecological situations. This is mainly because the existence of a variety of companies in an area of a larger, so we're talking about the quantity here, aren't we? Inevitably leads to increasing traffic and carbon emissions. For instance, the latest survey conducted by Greenpeace shows that the level of carbon dioxide has increased twofold on average in regions after creating business. Yeah, good. Creating new business. So I'm just adding in a few words just to show the difference. So new is like you're comparing it to what it was previously. Therefore, local people and wild nature might suffer from growing levels of noise and air pollution as a result of developing industrial sectors in their habitats. Excellent. In conclusion, it's clear that moving companies from developed cities and areas to developing ones could boost local economies, however, might also bring a vast range of environmental problems for the local population and nature, such as carbon and noise pollution from increased car traffic and industrial sectors emissions. Wow. I mean, wow. That is absolutely fantastic. Super, super good. Really, really impressive, Alex. Okay. What I'm going to do is show you the band descriptors, which I'm sure you're familiar with, but in case you're not, and then you can see how good this is. Because for me, you are ticking every single box here. It's a very clear answer, so task achievement, absolutely bang on. Also very, very good in terms of your coherence. It flows really nicely. Your paragraphs are very neatly organized. They are clear, they're coherent. You can hear, there's no problem for me to read this. I'm not going, oh, that doesn't work. You know, it is very clear, which is excellent, very concise. That's what we're looking for. Grammar, maybe just chuck in a bit more of the present perfect, maybe chuck in a conditional if you can, because the examiner is looking for evidence of grammar. And sort of quite clever grammar, but also in your vocabulary, very, very good indeed. So really impressed with that. Very good luck. Please let me know how you get on. And yeah, it's been great working with you. Thank you for your kind email. Take care.